watching She Takes on the World TV, your weekly dose of soaring inspiration and practical advice for your business and your life. I was asking you about what's on your bucket list or what your major goals are. And so many of you said that you wanted to write a book. So this episode of She Takes on the World TV is all about birthing your book. And I'm going to share a little bit of my experience getting She Takes on the World, a guide to being your own boss, working happy, and living on purpose out into the world. First, I recommend that you start with a book proposal, no matter which route you choose to take, self-publishing or pitching to a literary agent to get a big publishing deal. The reason why you want to start with a book proposal is because it really helps you to refine your content, focus on your niche, and make sure that your book is different from other stuff in the marketplace and that you have a clear marketing strategy. That's the real value of having a book proposal. Then you can always take it to a literary consultant or an agent who actually will give you some feedback and help you to write an even better, more polished proposal that you'll be ready to pitch to publishers. If you don't plan on going the publisher route, you can always write the proposal and then get ready to start writing your masterpiece to self-publish. Next, writing over 200 pages for a book can be a lot of work and very time-consuming, especially if you're still running a full-time company while you're writing the book like I was. One of the things that I found really helpful was to get a list of questions from my audience and to write out a list of my own questions that I thought people needed answered. Then I got a recording device, I hit record, and I recorded all of my answers to the questions, which I then had transcribed and worked into my first draft. Now, one thing I want to say about the first draft, it is meant to be a shitty first draft. People in the publishing industry even call it an SFD, shitty first draft, because it is exactly that. It's meant to just help you get all of your ideas out, and then you'll be going back and refining it. If you're working with an editor or a publisher, you're going to probably have to rewrite huge chunks of it. So it's important that you just get the first draft done, and it should take you no more than 4 to 6 months to write that first draft. 3, you absolutely need to work with an editor. It doesn't matter if you're working with a publisher, they would probably provide you with your editor, or you're self-publishing. You need someone to help you rewrite sections, rework content, and make sure that your grammar and spelling is immaculate. So a lot of people have asked me how much they should expect to pay for an editor. A lot of really good editors that I know charge at least $10 per page, and some of the top editors I know will go up to $25 a page. So you're looking at somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 to get a 200-page manuscript completely edited to a perfect finished product that you can be proud of. And to be honest, it's really hard to answer exactly how much it should cost to get your book edited, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a range that you can expect to pay. And remember, it is worth every single penny because it helps you to put your best work into the world. 4, once your book is written and edited and you're really happy with the final product, it's time to start thinking about the fun stuff, or at least it was the fun stuff for me, which was the cover design and making sure that the interior was formatted beautifully. And that's something, again, that you do not want to skimp out on. Now, if you're working with a publisher, they are going to be the ones who cover your cover design and the interior design, and they're going to lay it out in a way that helps your book to stand out amongst its competitors and get noticed in the bookstores. If you're doing it yourself, though, again, it's an expense that you should definitely not skimp on because it is worth every penny to have a fantastic finished product that you're really proud of. So I had budgeted $2,500 for the exterior design and the interior design of my book. $2,500 just didn't cut it, and I ended up going quite a bit over that once you factored in getting graphics done and photography and an illustrator and someone to format the interior in a way that was really going to make the content stand out and shine. So again, it's something that I did not have a problem spending the money on because it was a really valuable thing to do, and I think it's worth it to make sure that the final product that you get to hold in your hand is something that's beautiful and that you really love to look at and can be really proud of. And 5, I want to move into talking about your marketing strategy. The marketing is equally as important as creating a fantastic product. And I have 3 key points that I'm going to focus on for your marketing strategy. The first is that your book marketing begins long before it's ready to actually be sold. I started promoting my book about a full year in advance of its release, and I included my audience in things like choosing the title and subtitle, as well as picking the photography for the cover and the back of the book. So this started getting my audience excited about the book, and I started collecting testimonials for the book through advanced reading copies that went out about 6 months before it was ready to be published. So releasing those testimonials to my audience also started getting people excited, and I was able to stir up a little bit of hype in the press as well, since I had those testimonials ready to go. So again, these are things that I was doing 6 months to a year out from the publishing date. The next big marketing strategy that I focused on was getting interviewed by as many press outlets as possible and doing as many guest posts as I could on other websites and blogs within my niche. This is something you should be willing to spend a ton of time on because it's so valuable. I locked myself away in my office for almost a whole month just doing interviews and writing guest posts. Now again, because you have so many things to do during a book launch, and this takes so much time to do all these interviews and guest posts, I think it's really worth it to consider hiring a publicist, which I did, and it again was worth every penny that I spent. I worked with the lovely Kendra Newton of Hot Property PR in New York City, and she really helped me to make sure that we were pitching to a lot of different media outlets and I could focus on just the content that was going to be provided to those outlets. And the last marketing strategy I want you to think about is what kind of pre-offer special you are going to offer to people who buy your book in the first week it's for sale and ahead of time. So you've probably seen a lot of authors do this where they offer a bonus or something for buying the book in advance. And Gabby Bernstein, for her recent book, May Cause Miracles, actually gave away her 1-month coaching plan absolutely free to people who pre-ordered her book. And that's usually a $200 value. So it ended up leading to thousands of pre-sales for May Cause Miracles, which, as you can imagine, is really helpful because it helps you to figure out how many books need to be printed if you're working with a publisher, or even for yourself, you can kind of figure out how much more work you need to do to reach your sales numbers and goals. The last thing I want to say in this very meaty episode of She Takes on the World TV is that if you have an idea, if you want to share your knowledge and your story in a book, you should definitely do it. It is such a rewarding experience, and the world wants to hear what you have to say, and they want you to share your story. It can also lead to more business opportunities and speaking opportunities and really help you to grow your business and your brand. So if it is something on your bucket list, I really hope that you'll step up and make a plan to make it happen. So now I want to hear from you. Do you have a book title or concept that's brewing in your soul? If you do, I want to hear about it in a comment below. And if you liked this video, I would love for you to share it with your friends as well and join our community at shetakesontheworld.com. Thank you so much for watching this episode of She Takes on the World TV, and I will see you next time. And today we are talking about total niche domination. And joining me today is Miss Latham Thomas. And Latham